Welcome to the Leverage Podcast. I am your host, John Davidson, and today I am excited about an episode that's all about giving back and leading with integrity. Please join me in welcoming to our show Roberto Diaz, owner of Building While Giving. Roberto, thank you for joining the podcast.
Hey John, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And from what I understand, you're coming to us from Denver, Colorado. Is that correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, to start out, give us that elevator pitch. Tell us what is building while giving.
So basically, we're a construction company in Denver, specializing in remodeling, anything remodel, anything kitchen, bathrooms, basements, full home remodels, and we also do ADUs and additions.
Fantastic. And what area, if people are listening and they're saying, okay, I live in this area, I understand you're in Denver, but give me kind of a broader sense of customers that are relevant to you from a location standpoint geographically.
So we have quite a bit of cities actually within the Denver metro area, and we cover most of them within an hour. And
Okay.
I grew up about an hour and a half from Denver, so we take on projects in that area as well, which is like Vail, Colorado, and Breckenridge, Colorado.
Yep. Fantastic. And now, are you Denver born and raised? Have you moved anywhere else or have you stayed in Denver your whole life?
So I was actually born in Mexico, and we came to the U.S. when I was 11,
Uh-huh.
and then I moved to a town in the mountains with my brothers and my mom, and I went to middle school, high school in that town, and then I went to Grand Junction, which is like 4 hours away from Denver, for
Uh-huh.
college, and then I moved back to the small town for like 6 months, and I just didn't like it anymore, so I moved to Denver about eight and
Yeah.
a half years ago.
Well, it's a beautiful city. I've been there a few times. I actually love the skate park that they have there. I'm a skateboarder, and so um, uh, that's one of the parks around the country that people know about. And so a couple times driving across the country, I got to skate the skate park over there. Well, to get more into your business, as I was researching you and I'm learning about what you're doing, what really popped out to me, which is communicated by the name of your business, Building While Giving, is you really are giving back. So you are giving money to nonprofits based on revenue that you are bringing in. You're doing a toy drive every December. Tell us exactly what you're doing there and what is the reason behind that generous giving back?
And so just since I was younger, I always loved to give back to other people. And I mean, I didn't really have the means to do it, so I wouldn't do it, but I always knew I wanted to do it. And I just had to do like a little mindset shift. I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm never gonna do it. So when we were brainstorming like the name for the company, we knew that we wanted to give back and we wanted to do it from the start. So we just came up with the name, and I mean, we started doing like small stuff, like handyman stuff, and from every project we would give like $20. It was like really small
Yeah.
amounts. And it's been growing. We've been like doubling the sales every single year since we opened 5 years ago. And it's
Wow. Good
increasing, just
job.
like going from $20 donations to like $2,000, which is awesome to see.
That's fantastic, and those I try to remind myself because I try to be generous. Admittedly, I'm not greatly consistent with my giving, but that's something that I'm working on. But one thing that I try to remember is those little amounts add up, right? So it might feel like, oh, it's $20 here, it's $20 there, but you're doing this consistently over time. You're raising thousands and thousands of dollars for these nonprofits. One thing in small business is, everybody's always trying to differentiate, right? How am I different than the competitors? Why would somebody choose me over others? And I'm sure there are a lot of people who do great work with renovation in the Denver area, but I really commend you for choosing generosity and giving as a way to differentiate yourself from other companies. Um, do you think that has had a positive effect in people choosing to go with your services rather than somebody else?
Um, I'm not sure honestly because I don't do any marketing on it,
Hmm.
and people keep telling me that I should. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do marketing on that without looking like we're doing it just to get more projects, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to just do more marketing because the more that we grow, the more that we will be able to give back. But
Yeah.
I don't mention the donation part until like the end of the project.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very commendable because, some people, the only reason they are doing something like that, right, is just to get more business. But I love the fact that you are really giving just because out of the goodness of your heart, you want to be generous. I do have an idea for you, though. I have a bit of a marketing background. So, one thing that comes to my mind of how you could communicate that effectively and not just make it look like a gimmick to get more folks is promoting the nonprofits that you are giving to and maybe encouraging folks to give as well. So maybe whether it's on your website or whether it's on your social media, when you're giving, this month's nonprofit that we're giving to, or this year's nonprofit is this. What a great opportunity. We feel blessed to have the opportunity to give X amount of profits to, X nonprofit and encourage you to give as well. Here's how you can support. And I think when you approach it that way, it's less about you, right? And it becomes more about the nonprofit and even provides an opportunity for them to raise even more money.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome idea. We'll probably start implementing that tomorrow.
Just an idea. That one's free. The next one I'm gonna charge you for. I'm just kidding. Um, what type of nonprofits are you giving back to? Is there a certain filter or category that you prefer?
So we usually let our clients choose the nonprofits that
Oh,
they want to
cool.
support, and some of them are just like organizations. They don't even they're not a nonprofit.
Hmm.
So it just depends on what they want and what they feel close to their hearts.
That's even cooler. I was thinking that, okay, maybe you're just choosing, hey, we support this nonprofit because we're close to these folks or we have a passion for this, but you're actually enabling the customer to choose where that money goes. So not only are they getting your great service, but they have a part of being that positive impact, right?
Yeah,
Because they get to choose.
yeah, and some of them don't want to choose one at the end. We do work closely with other nonprofits, and when they don't
Hmm.
choose one, I usually make the donations to those two nonprofits.
That's right. So I'm thinking that also nonprofits in your area, if you're listening to this or watching this episode, reach out to Roberto. Maybe you can develop a connection there, help with some fundraising, and maybe he can help you with some renovations with your buildings and all that stuff too. I understand you also do a toy drive every December as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that one started before we opened the company. It's been 7 years
Hmm.
now since we started doing a toy drive, and we used to work closely with Foster Home in Denver.
Yeah,
It would just be like us getting toys or pajamas or anything that they needed. And it was a lot of people coming together to make it happen. People from Denver, people in the mountains that I grew up with, and yeah, it expanded to the point that we now take or I send money to a friend in Mexico actually, and he buys the toys and then like food packages, and he takes them like to some villages over in Mexico.
that's fantastic. I'm really inspired by your generosity and the giving back that you're doing. Well, another thing that I noticed on your website is your company is really focused on integrity, right? And integrity meaning how you treat your clients. Your website is very clear that, hey, we're showing up on time, we stand by our work. We're checking in with you regularly. And I think a lot of people listening to this show who have had renovations, it's not uncommon that there's a bad experience, right? Where it's either people didn't show up for hours while I took work off, I'm at home, or maybe you didn't clean up like what you're doing, or I got all these surprise charges, or even the work wasn't done to my satisfaction, and so um, and that's a hard place to be in for a company, right? Because we're hiring people like you because we can't do this stuff ourselves. So that's not an option. Talk a little bit about how you've made integrity and putting customers first as a core piece of your business.
I mean, I would say that's always I've had since I was like younger, just trying to do the right things. So I knew we wanted to have that in the company since the beginning as well. And it's hard because I mean, we're not perfect. We're all gonna make mistakes. It's just like owning them and just fixing whatever you did. If you did something wrong or if you're gonna be late, just communicate that to the client and just keep them posted on everything. And if you mess something up, just talk to them and then fix it. I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, it's not difficult, right? It's just specific and it's just thinking of other people in addition to yourself, which I love when people put others first. Well, I want to take you back to when you decided to launch out on your own and start your own business. Tell me what was happening in your life and what was that moment like when you said, I'm going to start building while giving?
So I would say I used to work in restaurants a long time ago. So I grew up in the hospitality industry, and I got tired of it because I used to manage. I was a GM for a few restaurants, and I just started hating the job that I was doing. It was like long hours, and I didn't get paid for those extra 20 hours. So I quit, and then I started working construction for someone else, and I just kept learning. And then I just I wasn't happy working for someone else. I would show up to work with not the best attitude.
Yeah.
I was just getting a paycheck, and I knew I wanted something to open up something before, and I thought it was gonna be a restaurant. But then I moved to the construction industry, and I started loving that and just doing like something different every single day. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna quit my job and I'm gonna open up a construction business. And I did. I was like 20K in debt when I opened the business. And
Wow.
I got my credit card. I bought a drill impact driver, leaf blower, and I started doing like handyman stuff, leaf blowing, landscaping stuff, and yeah, just we just made it work.
Yeah, so it sounds like so you're in the restaurant industry, you switch over doing landscaping type work, and then now you've grown into doing renovation projects, right?
Yeah, and I think tying back to the previous question, I think like being in hospitality that helps a lot with people, like how to treat people. That's
Yeah.
something that we teach you over there, and I feel like construction businesses they don't have that.
Mm.
That's the missing piece in construction. Like they don't know how to treat people most of the time. Not most of the time, but a lot of the times. And I feel that that's a missing part that we can be better at. Just like knowing how to treat people better and have like some
Mhm.
more compassion for them as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. I love how you took something that was core to one industry and you've added it to another industry that's enabled you to be successful. In hospitality and restaurants, you really have to treat people right because your whole business is based on repeat work. Whereas maybe in construction, the repeat work, I mean, referrals are important, reputation is important, right? But you're probably working on somebody's house. It's going to be a one-time thing, or it's going to be years and years and years, right? Until there's maybe another project there. That's really interesting. Talk, take me through the mindset shift that was required or that you made when you went from being an employee to being an entrepreneur and now employing other folks. When it's all on you versus, hey, I'm just here to get a paycheck. How does that mindset change?
For me, it was having more pressure because like before, I would go to work, go home, and that was it. It was, I mean, it was nice having like some time off, I guess. But when I opened the business in 2022, like 3 months later, I also found out that we're gonna have a baby, the first baby.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So yeah, that's when my mind was like, holy crap, we have to make this work, or I have to go back to work for someone else. So it was just yeah, I was just like had to make that mindset in the way that okay, I have to make this work, and I have to figure out how. Because before I was just going to get a paycheck and I would have it in my bank account. But with business, if I didn't get any work, I wasn't gonna be able to feed the family, I guess.
That's right. And one thing about working for yourself or being owning a business is you can affect increasing your revenue, right? I remember years ago, I bought a house, and I remember seeing, when you buy a house, you see the initial amount of what you're going to pay a month or what you think you're going to pay a month,
Yes.
right? And then you see all the stuff behind the scenes of what you're actually paying a month. And it was a pretty good paying job at the time, but I remember just thinking like, oh my goodness, this is more than I thought every month. This is like going to be a lot tighter than I thought it was going to be. And at the time, my thought was my only way of making more money is hoping I get a promotion, right?
Mhm.
Because I was an employee at the time. Now, later, I started my own business, which I had for a handful of years, and I realized, wait, now I control my own destiny, right? If I want to make more money, I can work harder, I can work more hours, I can get out there to get more clients. Share a little bit about how maybe while there's a lot of pressure of having it all on you, it's also empowering, I bet, when you say, I can control my own destiny rather than just getting the paycheck from the restaurant.
Yeah, it is. But I have to go back to the other question as well, something that I didn't mention, because yeah, we knew we were gonna have the baby, and then we bought a house the same year. So I don't know what I was thinking. I got myself a lot of pressure financially, but I think I work better under pressure, so we made it work. And then the other mindset shift that I had was I'm only gonna have this plan. I don't have a plan B, so I either make this work or we go live on the streets. So that was
Yeah.
one. And then yeah, like you said, like in having the power just to control your destiny, it's awesome. And even before then, like when my wife was pregnant, I was able to go to all the appointments. I didn't have to ask anyone for permission. So that was pretty. It's been pretty nice to be able to control those aspects.
Yeah, there's something powerful about failure is not an option, right? And a famous story, you may be familiar with this, is have you ever heard the term burn the boats or burn the ships?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for our listeners who aren't familiar, that comes from Cortez, who was the explorer who came to South America, and he, witnesses, the native South Americans there, and he tells his men when they arrive, burn the boats. The only way forward is forward. We cannot retreat. And they ended up, conquering that land. And so that's a mindset shift that I think a lot of successful people have is when failure is not an option, I'm going to do everything it takes to succeed, right? Rather than kind of sitting back and just waiting around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to get some more details on the lessons that you've learned. But first, let's take a listen from our sponsor, Sphere Rocket.
Business owners and entrepreneurs will place a proven executive assistant VA for just $4 to $8 an hour, and if they don't perform, you don't pay. Imagine freeing up 20 plus hours a week by someone handling your most time consuming tasks like admin work, managing emails, scheduling meetings, and so much more. This one hire could transform your productivity and give you back the time you need to focus on growing your business. At Sphere Rocket VA, we make this possible in as little as 7 days. We'll place a proven executive assistant VA in your business for just $4 to $8 an hour, and your VA will take over day-to-day administrative tasks, help manage your email and calendar, follow up with past clients, giving you back 20 plus hours a week so you can increase your sales and even enjoy more personal time. And here's the best part, if they don't give you back 20 plus hours a week in the first month, you don't pay Sphere Rocket a dime. We've done this for thousands of business owners, and now it's your turn to see the results. Click the link around this video to schedule a demo and discover how this one hire can completely change how you run your business. Remember, if within 45 days the VA doesn't perform, you don't pay.
All right, so taking you back here, Roberto, to day one of starting your business. We you are you got pressure and such. Help me understand if you were to go back to day one of your business again, what advice would you tell your former self that you have now learned?
I would say to take care of myself and not work all day long. Because when my wife was pregnant, we were not living together at the time, so I was able to wake up at 5 a.m., go to work, come back and do estimates until like 10 p.m. I wouldn't do that anymore. I just felt like I had to do like everything fast for the clients, have like estimates ready the same day, which I still try to do. But when we had the family, I knew that I wanted to be like a present dad. So now if it's like past 5, it's rarely when I work. So I would
That's
say
awesome.
do that and then just like be easy on myself because I put a lot of pressure on myself and I just want to do everything myself. And I
Yeah.
don't know anything about delegating. And right now we have like 2 VAs that we got from Sphere Rocket actually.
Hmm.
In saves a lot of time, so it's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Share with us a little bit about how you're working with those VAs, what you're delegating to them, and what your experience has been like being able to buy back some of your time and have some of that work-life balance.
So we have one for administration work, and I mean she helps with anything. She's always willing to do anything for us, and any task that we ask her to do, she's on board. But it's mostly like change orders, invoicing, contracts, um, making sure that subcontractors have all the paperwork for us, and reaching out to other people like potential trade partners as well. And then
Hmm.
the second one that we have is for marketing. So she's helping with social media for the most part. We're gonna start doing some Google ads and SEO with her as well.
Great.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. Like the first like 3 4 weeks that we have them, I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Because I had like so much free time now. So
Yeah.
it's awesome because I can focus like on growing the company, doing more sales, getting out to the community, and be able to do like more events for the community. That's something that we plan to do instead of just like sending money. We want to put in our time as well and
Yeah.
for people to support the communities around us as well.
That's great. And that's a great point too, because a lot of people, when they think about a virtual assistant, they're thinking, oh, it's just admin work. Now, that is beneficial, right? It helps you free up your time, focus on other things. But to your point, your second VA focuses on marketing. And so, Sphere Rocket has the ability to bring in VAs who have more qualified experience than just being an administrative assistant, but can also help with all these different aspects of the business, enabling you, it sounds like, to work on the business rather than just in the business all the time.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of options. When I first talked to them, they sent me like a list of all the qualifications that the VAs have, and wow, it's a lot of stuff they can do.
That's awesome. Well, and I love how much success that you're having in your business, and it's wonderful to talk about successes. But as it turns out, when it comes to lessons that we learn, a lot of times it turns out we learn the most from our failures, right? I'm curious if there's a mistake or what you thought was a failure at the time that has turned out to be one of the greatest lessons that you've learned in your career so far.
In my whole career, um, I mean, I would say it happened recently. I would say, 'cause I mean, I've made mistakes, but
Yeah.
I think the one that was like most impactful was a few months ago. We were taking on like way too much work,
Hmm.
so it was hard just to manage everything, and then having to come home, spend time with because we have 3 kids now, and they're all under 4. So
Wow.
we start managing that and having the energy to come home and play with them. I feel like I wasn't patient enough, like I'm supposed to be with them, just because I had a lot going on with like 70 projects. So I wouldn't do that again. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on 2 3 projects and yeah, just keep my sanity and be like the best version of myself for my family. Because I mean, I was talking to someone a few days ago, and he said something that really hit me. I mean, we opened the company and we want to grow the company for the family. but then we focus on growing the company, and then we miss time with the family. So
That's right. And that work-life balance is so important. And I think it's awesome that you have that awareness that, like, yeah, I'm the owner of a company. Yes, I need to work hard to grow this, but these kids aren't going to be young forever, and you're never going to get those early years back that are so enjoyable. And so you've developed a plan and a business in a way that enables you to, yes, provide for your family through your business, but also spend time with your family. That's so important.
yeah, and I mean, honestly, I'm still working on it. It's hard because I have the same mindset, like, oh, business first, and then we'll be able to support the family, and then I'll get that time back. But I don't think that works. It's gonna work that way. I think we have to like put family first, me first, and then the business is gonna grow.
Yeah, and we're always a work in progress, right? We're just continually learning and growing and doing better. And I'm sure 10 years from now, you're going to look back at today and you're going to say, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I was doing this way and this way and you know, my businesses has changed so much." But today, when you look back 4 years ago when you started your business, I bet you're saying, "Wow, look how much better things are here." And so it's just this continual growing and building process. Second to the last question for you. What do you want people to remember about what you are building with your business and the impact you're making in the community?
I mean, I think the most important things, because we will help people with remodels, right? So we're gonna improve their spaces, but I want them to remember that we help improve not only their spaces, their homes, but also the communities around them. And yeah, we just wanna grow and hopefully inspire other people to do the same thing, other construction companies, because I know there's a lot out there that do the same. But if
Yeah,
we all go together, we post it on social media, I know that other people are gonna get inspired and they're gonna give back as well. I think that's like
absolutely.
important.
Yeah, that's great. Not only are you giving back, but you're leading by example and providing an example for others to follow to increase the giving back in your community, which I think is this very admirable and really inspiring. Last question for you. For those listening and watching, there's hey, here's a great guy who started this business. He does great work. He's giving back. He's leading with integrity. I know he's going to show up on time when I have him work on my house. How can people get in touch with you in the way that you would like them to?
So I mean, we have our phone number, which is like 720-968-7874, and then the website buildingwhilegiving.com.
Great. Buildingwhilegiving.com or give him a call on that phone number. Roberto, thank you for all you're doing. I know that your community is thankful. I'm sure your family is thankful for your focus on work-life balance as well. And the Sphere Rocket team, appreciates you being a client as well. Thank you for joining me today on the Leverage Podcast.
Thank you so much for the invitation. And if I can say something before I go, with
Please. Yeah.
information, yeah, something that I didn't mention that it's very important to me is getting a business coach because I'm working with a business coach,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them that I've talked to was actually in your show a few days ago, and they're awesome. Like you don't know what you don't know until you hire a coach, basically.
Great point.
Teach me a lot of stuff. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could do this, and it's amazing how much they can help you grow.
What are some of the things that you've learned from this coach so far?
It's everything like basic stuff. Like I wouldn't do any networking before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like small stuff like, oh, you have to go out there in the community, um, make people aware of your branding and stuff, and just go out and meet people. That's gonna help you grow. I started doing that, and within like 3 4 days, we got like a few leads, and then we closed the project. So it's just like
Incredible.
basic stuff that I didn't even know. But
Yeah, I
that,
think a lot of times we just don't know what we don't know, right? Especially you're starting a new business, you've never owned a business before. I did the same thing. I started a business years ago and a huge, huge part of that was working with a coach as well, who helped me with a lot of things that I look back now on and I'm like, oh, that was so basic, but at the time, I didn't know the first thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is absolutely great advice. Anything more that you'd like to share on that from the business coach perspective?
No, I just want to say thank you for having me, and I enjoyed the conversation.
Absolutely. Everybody in the Denver metro area, you need anything, any type of renovations done, reach out to our man Roberto here and he'll get you right. Thank you again for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you.